again, and this time we have D-Art's Vile. Vile is a Mega Man villain. He's from the D-Art's line. Bandai does, which is a great line. Its figures are a little pricey, but I believe you get what you pay for. Their figures they do are top-notch, and this is no exception. In fact, this guy is amazing. This is a fantastic figure. I'm super happy with this guy. There's so much going on with him. He's very cool. Geez, I don't even know where to start. Okay, so first of all, I don't know how many Mega Man fans out there. I mean, there are a lot of Mega Man fans out there. Outside of them, I don't know how many of them would recognize Vile. The most exposure I think Vile may have got, really, is probably with Marvel vs. Capcom 3, even though he's not in it. Mega Man has a alt paint or a outfit, a color scheme that I've heard people refer to as the Lakers Mega Man because of the purple and gold, but that's Vile. That's this guy. That's his paint scheme. So Vile shows up in the first Mega Man game, and he starts mopping the floor with Mega Man X. And Zero, I believe? Now Zero has to show up and save Mega Man's bitch ass from Vile. But Vile's awesome. I'm like beside myself with this figure. It's so cool. Okay, so he comes with a whole bunch of accessories. By far the coolest of them, though, is this. It's a little glass of alcohol. I don't know what kind it is. I'm going to say bourbon. I'm willing to believe that Vile, like me, is a bourbon man. And I mean, we can just end the review now. Go out and buy this thing. But I won't. I want to show him off. So, man, sorry, I don't know where to start with him. So, first of all, this knee here, that's one of Vile's abilities. I think Maverick Hunter X, you get to use that. I had Maverick Hunter X. I bought it when it came out. I played the hell out of that game, and that's when I really started to like Vile. That's when I kind of really appreciated him, and he became one of my favorite characters. And you get this like knee cannon that shoots here. It comes with this. This is the only blast effect he comes with. But this thing will get you if you're not careful. It has a pretty deep peg, and it will seat in his knee really far in. And when I was trying to pull it out, I actually stuck myself with it. And it stuck in my finger. I had to pull it out. It just stopped bleeding. But they're not playing. They say these aren't for kids. So this is his one blast effect, and this can go in his cannon, either one of his cannons, or his knee. Just like the Mega Man figures, the cannon nozzles are removable, and one of them will have a red jewel in it, like the one on his shoulder does here. You just see it there. Or hollow to put in blast effects. And in case you're curious, like I was, the other blast effects from the other figures, like Mega Man's here, will fit, making him even more awesome. Okay, so I'm going to kind of put him back into kind of regular mode here. So before I do that, I'll show you his box. Okay, so D-Art's box, nothing special about it. It's kind of small. It's a smallish box as far as the other. It's compared to the other figures that I have, the full armor Mega Man and version 2 Zero. This thing's a little on the small side, but that's a good thing. We don't need huge boxes all the damn time, especially if you're wanting to save them, like I do. I don't know. I don't really know why he has that glass of what I'm going to call bourbon. I don't know. I guess I don't know enough about Vile. If you know, leave a comment or something. I need to fill me in because I don't know why he has it, but it makes him awesome. That's right. That's right, kids. Drinking makes you awesome. Don't forget. All right. So that's that, and I'm going to open it up here. Just give me a second here. So he comes with, like I say, a whole bunch of stuff. Here's a instruction sheet. Pretty straightforward here. Kind of like some prototype vial pictures in there. Basically just details. I actually ended up having to use this. I was a little confused by it at first. For his leg rocket. I'll show you that in a second. But this actually came in handy for me for once. So this is his little container. He's got 2 sets of hands, fists, and kind of like a open type hand there. And then he's got nozzles, different nozzles for every gun. So he's got 2 shoulder cannons. Both of them have replaceable nozzles. So if you wanted to, you could start working and he's blast things on each one of his cannons and his knee. So he'd really be going nuts. And then he comes with a replacement leg. So I'll show you how this works. That's the only problem with these things is that the parts are so small they like to go everywhere. It's hard to get like the one thing out you need without making them scatter. Sorry, just bear with me here. Here we go. Okay. So, this is his original leg. And the way you do this is you take this whole leg off. There goes his booze. Well, let me grab that. So the whole leg comes off at the hip. I don't know where it's at. It's gone. And then this is his regular foot. He only comes with 1 foot. So this unplugs from there. Plugs right in there. And then the part that got me was this little collar on his boot comes off. It didn't look like it came off. And it doesn't come off on this side, I don't believe. But I was trying to plug it in with the collar on and I couldn't get it. I was like, that's not right. It doesn't even work. And then eventually I read the instructions and you got to pull that off to plug in the blaster knee. And this actually comes apart in a couple of places. This will come out here as well. So this is really the kind of like the unique piece in here. Otherwise they give you 2 upper legs, essentially. Oops. They look the same. I believe they'd be interchangeable. I don't know what the difference is, and now I've mixed them up, so I guess I'll never know if there is a difference or not, but I don't know. They look... Oh, one's shorter. Okay, that's what it is here. The thigh piece here, the top of his leg is shorter on one of them. I'm guessing the one with the blaster on it is shorter. So, that's that. Okay. Collar goes back in. Leg there. This plugs in there. Joints everywhere, by the way. If you're wondering what kind of articulation this guy has, if you're wondering if he has it, yes, he does. He's got every kind of articulation you can imagine. Some things, it's probably easier just to name what he doesn't have. He doesn't have a thigh swivel. He does up here at the joint, the little ball joint. It swivels, so his thigh can go in and out. But there's none at the knee. So from the leg down, essentially, from the hip down, there it goes. This does not swivel at all on its own. You get some in the ankle, but just a little bit. For the most part, it's all up there in the hip. So that goes back in there. Come on now. There we go. He's got what looks like the same articulation in his ankles and feet as Mega Man X does. So here he is, kind of not really posing. These shoulder pads snap on. They're ball joints inside. Well, I don't even know if ball joints the right thing. They've got some crazy joints on these figures. Like they're in a class of their own with their articulation. It's very impressive stuff. But he's got a ball jointed upper torso. He's got a ball jointed lower torso. It's kind of hard to pose the lower stomach part in the hips, but you can get it if you work with it enough. He's got this backpack. He's got two cannons. Cannons are jointed here, where they oops, not there. That's actually a piece that comes off. Here, that's a really tight joint on mine right here. This little lever here, and then it's also jointed here, and then again up in here. So lots of range out of these things. You can get them into pretty much any position you want. That comes off. So this little extra blue piece, this is like very impressive with Bandai. I'm very impressed with Bandai. They came with this. I seen this in the package. Like, what the heck is that? That's a way to attach these things here. And they just plug in, and they're kind of molded a certain way. They'll only fit in properly one way. They've got a little slotted tab there that plugs in. So that's this essentially, and then these come off too. The ends of the cannon come off, and then you can replace them with the open nozzles for the blaster pieces. It's also got a little jewel on the back side here. Very cool. So this plugs in. Basically, it forms an extension to his backpack. A lot of attention to detail in this figure. I really appreciate that when a company can go out of their way and kind of look at that. So there's this little plug. Plugs in right here on his backpack, so if you don't want the blaster on one side or on either side, that's what you're left with. Pretty cool looking. This, his bandolier, this chain of bullets that comes out of his backpack, I'm also very impressed with. Okay, so both of these come off. This is on a ball joint up here. That pops out of the ball joint. See it? Plugs in there. It's a socket. But these bullets, and it's a slotted tab into the gun. Very secure. It's not going anywhere. But this thing is all individually jointed, and you can get this into whatever position you want. Just a piece of like rubber is what I would have expected from any other company, but this thing is awesome. Like, well done, Bandai. This is impressive. They have almost no reason to do this and make this so awesome, but they did, and you don't have to worry about it breaking or anything. You can pose it for days and it'll stay put. So that's essentially his backpack. Even with nothing on, Vile is still an awesome figure. Like, even if you don't have any of his accessories or any of that, he still looks really cool. Laker colors. So that's that. I want to clear this stuff out of the way here. Getting a little cluttered around here. Show you a comparison with old Mega Man X. So they're exactly on scale. There's lots of parts, I'd imagine, that are so similar between the two, but I don't think they actually reused any. I couldn't imagine what they may have reused. Maybe the same mold for like upper arm pieces, or I don't know. It seems like they're very similar because their designs are very similar. They should be similar because they're both Maverick Hunters. But there doesn't seem to be anything reused between the two of them. You know, it would have been repainted, but even then, it doesn't look like the sculpts are different. Show you a little bit of detail here on Vile. So you can see his paint. It's metallic looking. It looks amazing. Like, it's very cool looking. His hands are also kind of a metallic or pearlescent almost. Same with his helmet. Just an amazing job done. And I think I mentioned this before, but the shoulder pads snap on. They basically pop off. I don't know why you'd want to do that, but you can. Bottom of his feet is really cool also. I don't know why this impresses me so much when they do this, but like on the Mega Man also, like the little jewel that's inside there. Very cool looking. So there's that. Oops. It does go on pretty firm too. You have to find the little slot for these kind of notches on his shoulder. So he's got all kinds of articulation, double ball jointed, I want to say, neck. It's hard to see for sure exactly what it is, but looks like I'm going to say double ball jointed neck, which is the way pretty much every neck should be done ever on a figure. Man, I just like looking at him. He's really cool. Backpack does not come off. It's stuck to his back, but there's really no reason to take that off either. I like the way his legs are molded into his hips and his crotch, basically. They're very seamless looking. With the matte finish and the way that they're molded, it's very very good looking. He's got double jointed knees, knees that spread the leg away, the bottom leg away from the top leg, so that by the time it actually folds, it does it so that it sits really close, which is good for the pose I had him in earlier with the knee launcher. Then the ankles, it's actually kept popping off on me earlier, but I think it's gotten straightened out now. Ankles, there's like a couple of points of articulation in here. There's a ball up in here. There's this ball there, the big ball that the ankle sits in. And then there's another one where it pegs into the foot. So there's like 3 balls inside here, which is great. Oh, there it goes. Which is great because you can get this thing into pretty much any position you can think of. It does have some restrictions because of the way it's molded, but that's pretty much every figure ever. As you can see there, I mean, these things are very well made. I'm very happy with them. I seen him at Comic-Con. I didn't know he was out yet, and when I seen it, I was like, "You guys are selling Vial?" They're like, "Yes, we are." I said, "Well, I'll take a Vial, thank you very much." He said, "Is there anything else we can get you for you?" I said, "Lord, that's a dangerous question. There's so much stuff over there." Man, these figures are cool. So that's more or less it. And just for fun, I forgot to bring in Mega Man. He doesn't. Oh man, don't stand a chance, Mega Man. What are you thinking about? Anywho, that's about it. Man, 18 minutes. That's a long review. But I can't help it. He's too cool. So, man, if you have any of these, if you're aware of Vial, if you're just a fan of really good figures, pick him up because he's one of the coolest in my collection, I would say. I really dig this figure. D-Arts, Mega Man X Vial, or Vava, whatever floats your boat, with the bourbon that I gotta find. Thanks for watching.